Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be a man in today's society? A society that is constantly evolving, changing its expectations and redefining norms. What is it to embody masculinity in an era where the very definition of the term is being rewritten? Well, you're not alone in pondering this question. It's a thought that has crossed the minds of many, sparking a wealth of conversation, debate, and introspection. The concept of masculinity, after all, is not as straightforward as it might appear. It's tangled up with societal expectations, stereotypes, and cultural constructs, all of which have a significant impact on how we perceive and define manhood. Is it about strength, courage, emotional resilience, or perhaps it's about the ability to provide and protect? These are the questions that we find ourselves grappling with as we navigate through the complex landscape of masculinity. So, let's delve deeper into what society expects from men. Let's explore this topic together, shedding light on the intricacies of masculinity in the 21st century. It seems like a simple question, yet the answer is anything but straightforward. When we delve into the topic of masculinity and the pressures it places on men, we find ourselves navigating a labyrinth of societal expectations, preconceived notions, and rigid stereotypes. The idea of manliness has been deeply ingrained in our societies, dictating how men should behave, feel, and even think. Being a man, it appears, is less about individuality and more about fitting into a predefined mold. It's about being strong, not just physically, but emotionally as well. It's about never crying, never showing vulnerability, always being the protector, the provider. This unwavering, constant pressure to conform to these expectations can take a heavy toll. Studies have shown that this pressure can lead to a host of issues. Men are more likely than women to suffer from substance abuse and less likely to seek help for mental health issues. In fact, according to the World Health Organization, men account for nearly 3/4 of suicides worldwide. These daunting statistics are a stark reminder of the silent crisis that many men face. The pressure to conform to societal expectations of masculinity can lead to feelings of isolation, depression, and anxiety. It's a vicious cycle, where the fear of appearing weak prevents men from seeking the help they need, further exacerbating their struggles. Yet, the issue of masculinity and its pressures isn't solely about mental health. It permeates every aspect of a man's life, from relationships and career choices to self-image and personal growth. Men are often trapped in a paradox where they are expected to be strong and independent, yet are criticized for showing aggression or dominance. The societal pressure to man up is not just a phrase. It's a commandment, a demand, a heavy chain that men are expected to bear without complaint. It's a burden that is carried in silence, often ignored, and rarely discussed. That's a lot of weight to carry, isn't it? Being a man isn't just about being strong and independent. It's a societal label that comes with a set of expectations and stereotypes that can be as constraining as they are empowering. One of the most enduring expectations placed on men is the role of the provider. Society often sees men as the breadwinners, the ones who should bring home the bacon, so to speak. This expectation can put a tremendous amount of pressure on men, leading to stress and anxiety, especially in times of economic instability. Then, there's the expectation of emotional stoicism. Men are often encouraged, both openly and subtly, to suppress their emotions, to be the rock in the face of adversity. Real men don't cry, so the saying goes. But denying oneself the natural human response to pain and sadness can lead to a host of mental health issues. In fact, research has shown that men are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women, a harrowing statistic that may be linked to this expectation of emotional suppression. Moreover, the expectation of physical strength and toughness is another burden. The notion that men should be physically imposing, that they should be able to handle any physical task, can lead to harmful behaviors like overexercising, steroid use, and ignoring physical pain or health issues. Each of these expectations, whether it's being the provider, suppressing emotions, or always being physically strong, can contribute to a culture of toxic masculinity, where men feel they must conform to these ideals or risk losing their manhood. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, isolation, and even aggression. But here's the thing. Being a man is not about conforming to societal expectations. It's about defining your own version of masculinity, one that encompasses strength and vulnerability, independence and interdependence, stoicism and emotional openness. It's clear that these expectations can be burdensome and even harmful. But remember, it's okay to redefine what being a man means to you. You don't have to fit into a predetermined mold. You are uniquely you, and that's what makes you a man. But what does it really mean to be a man? As we've navigated through the pressures and expectations of masculinity, let's take a moment to delve into the reality of what it means to be a man. It's important to understand that this reality extends beyond societal pressures and expectations. Masculinity is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's a diverse and broad spectrum filled with countless expressions and identities. It's about understanding that there's no singular way to be a man, but rather there are as many ways to be a man as there are men in the world. Think about it for a minute. If you look around, you'll notice that every man you see is unique. Each one has his own strengths, his own weaknesses, his own dreams, and his own fears. Each one is shaped by his experiences, his environment, and his values. So, what does this say about masculinity? It says that masculinity is not about fitting into a predefined mold. It's about embracing who you are as an individual. Let's consider the words of Oscar Wilde, who once said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." These words ring especially true when we talk about masculinity. Each man has a unique identity, a unique voice, and a unique story to tell. Remember the story of David and Goliath? David, a shepherd boy, defeats the warrior giant Goliath not by matching his strength, but by leveraging his own unique skills and abilities. This story is a testament to the power of individuality and the importance of being true to oneself. In a world where we are often pressured to conform, it's crucial to remember that it's okay to be different. It's okay to have your own definition of what it means to be a man. It's okay to embrace your individuality and to express your masculinity in a way that feels true to you. Being a man is about being true to oneself, not conforming to societal expectations. So, embrace your individuality, celebrate your uniqueness, and never apologize for being the man that you are. Because at the end of the day, the most authentic way to be a man is to be yourself. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? As we've navigated the winding path of masculinity, we've explored the pressures, the expectations, and the often harsh reality of what it means to be a man in our society. We started with the pressures, where the weight of the world seems like it's pressing on your shoulders. Men are often told to be the breadwinners, to be strong, to never show emotion. But life isn't a one-size-fits-all situation, and neither is masculinity. It's okay to feel, to express, to break down. It doesn't make you any less of a man. Next, we delved into the expectations, the preconceived notions that society has about how a man should behave, what he should achieve, and who he should be. But we cannot allow ourselves to be reduced to mere stereotypes. We are more than the sum of our parts, more than the roles we are expected to play. Then we face the reality of masculinity, the fact that it's not a monolith, but a spectrum. There are as many ways to be a man as there are men in the world. Each one of us has a unique identity, a unique way of expressing our masculinity, and that's something to be celebrated, not suppressed. As we've journeyed through these aspects of masculinity, we've seen that being a man is not about conforming to societal norms, but about being true to oneself. It's about embracing your individuality, your strengths, your flaws, your passions, your fears. In conclusion, the pressures, expectations, and realities of masculinity can often feel overwhelming. But remember, there's no right or wrong way to be a man. You are not defined by societal standards, but by your own values, beliefs, and actions. So here's the overall message, the heart of what we've been saying. Never apologize for being a man. Be proud, be strong, be you. You're not just a man, you're a human. And that's something to be proud of. Live your truth, embrace your identity,